Hi, Professor Dunstan. Max here. Here's my multicultural reflection project. Let's take number 4 here. So do I think, do you think that you were able to think and act locally as you interacted with people from other cultures? So for my example here, I'm using an example with my former teammate and coworker at one point, but mostly roommate and classmate, Noe, who was from Cameroon. It's a French-speaking country in Africa, and we shared a space last year for right around 8 months. I was actually given the opportunity by him. Where did that whiteboard go? Okay, we'll pull that right back up. So for that one, I would say that local and multicultural interactions are very different and distinct, but most of those distinctions can be made just depending on what is being discussed, the context there, and also the urgency of the conversations that you're having. So for me, in no way, low urgency interactions for the most part. Let me make sure I'm still recording. Okay, so low urgency interactions, and there was a learning curve involved, definitely, because we are from very different cultures. He had recently moved from a very different country, different language, but was very good English speaker. They teach it well over there. And surface level differences were observed at first. And I get the term surface level from chapter 1. They were talking about different types of diversity. Surface level diversity would be the opposite of that. So there were surface level differences in this case. And then we got to the deep level observations, the deep level differences. And those were minimal, honestly. So we actually found deep level similarities that we could identify easily. When it came to motives, our birthdays were even similar, stuff like that. And yeah, it was very harmonious. We both came in with the intention to do well with one another, the intention to you know, like I said, our goals aligned. We're similar heights, play the same sport, or taking most of the similar classes, different majors, whatever. And then on top of that, we are both, Black athletes in America here, even though he is from Africa, and has a home country to go to and stuff. I'm, a member of the Black culture here in America, and it's very different, but just understanding your own culture in those situations and understanding that our cultures actually were stratified at one point, intentionally, and realizing that we share a lot on those fronts, and having the social responsibility on my part to identify that and know how to deal with that gracefully. So I'll move to the next slide here. What did I think what I did well, and what did I think I could have done better? So my openness and interest in the multicultural exchange here was pretty good, in my opinion. I think I worked with my teammate Noe well, and I embraced being the native in the environment. So obviously he had moved from another country to my country, and that's just something that's important to deal with and identify, because it can create a lot of separation between two individuals or groups, because it's hard being in a new country, and having someone who's patient, having someone who's accepting of differences really goes a long way, because I know how it can feel to perceive yourself as an outsider. And then on top of that, language gaps and stuff like that. And like I said, realizing our cultures were one at one point, and just working with one another. So also understanding his level of nationalism, his level of pride in Cameroon was important, and also his motives for coming here. And like I hinted at earlier, he had come here for something I really had an abundance of, which is, the resources to be a successful athlete, the resources to play at a college like we were, and afford the housing that we were in and stuff like that. So that was awesome, and it made me appreciate stuff, and it added perspective to my experience at the time. Basketball is another thing I could talk on. I would say that was part of the negative aspects of it as well. Just me being the one with resources and stuff might have made him feel like, you know, as someone who can't drive here, as someone who hasn't been approved for a driver's license or whatever, maybe he's asking too much of me to get him access to a certain gym or get him a ride to somewhere or whatever. But I think I also dealt with that well on the other end. Like I mentioned, my so what multicultural experiences can you seek out to enhance your global perspective as a current or future leader in business? So my career aspirations here kind of will take me all around the world and have me embracing a lot of different cultures and a lot of different worldviews at a certain point. I'll be interacting with a lot of people from a lot of different places. Playing basketball abroad, I'll probably be in the Middle East, which is a tourist destination, as well as, you know, a foreign country with a different language, depending on where I go. My agent hasn't let me know yet, but I'll know soon. My girlfriend is building a house in the Philippines. That'll be a great experience, you know, having a family and being there, being able to understand more about their culture and speak their language. I have it written down here. That's a goal of mine. Being able to understand concepts that don't translate well will definitely give me a perspective on their culture. Going to Africa will be important. I don't have a strong connection to any particular nation in Africa or country, but just the continent and stuff like that. It would be nice to be around people who, you know, look like me, look more similar to me than most Americans. And mastery of Spanish is another important note that will make local traveling more smooth, and outsourcing more work in my girlfriend's business to other countries will be another important note here. So yeah, thank you. I'm sorry, this is my fourth take. I'm trying to really speed things up so that we can stay under that 8-minute mark. If I missed anything, please let me know, and I appreciate your patience with the late work here. Thank you, Professor.